Hello everyone, and welcome to my UK Royal Family News channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Change is in the air for a really long time of our lives. However, is that positive or negative? After this previous week, we are apparently very nearly significant commotion, which truth be told, I'm hanging around for. For one thing, the uplifting news. However, I know it's 7 days late, and we as a whole know it as of now. Last Friday night, Days of Our Lives reported that Albert Allaire was out. It will require some investment. However, I'm excited for the cast and team at Days and energized for the proceeded with positive changes that I think this will prompt. However, similar to I said last week, it will require an investment to see what might be considered our screens. In the case of nothing else, I trust regarding the entertainers will prompt less odd projecting ways out and irregular visits, and all the more consistent stories that don't appear to get intruded on out of the blue. Yet, a couple of beneficial things emerged from this, from elevating Janet Drucker to co-chief maker and placing a lady in control to the fans uniting behind the show and the entertainers. For hell's sake, today watchers took to virtual entertainment to make a Judy Evans Appreciation Day on the side of her, after the present scenes clarified she was forced to bear one of his unrefined assaults that cutoff time illustrated. The start of the end. We finished the week with Victor's plain absent as his family, indeed, some of them, met up to invite him home. It appears to be somewhat senseless that they'd out of nowhere all choose to set up a welcome home party when he's continually voyaging. However, I get it. It's a decent way for everybody to be together when they get the news. Likewise, I realize not every person does. Yet I like that they're having Victor bite the dust in a plane accident as opposed to dying in his rest, or something to that effect. He's sitting back home subsequent to flying all over the planets, since nothing dials him back. They've been making obviously Victor's been as involved as could be expected in the business until the end, which will make an enormous power vacuum whenever he's gone. Furthermore, as miserable as it'll be to bid farewell, I can hardly trust that the accounts will emerge from this. His will alone ought to be a goldmine of news story open doors. If they truly had any desire to tick everybody off, Victor could pass on everything to Maggie and make the family subject to her. Hell, that would most likely even upset Maggie, yet it would unexpectedly steer the Kyriakis results to Xander instead of Justin and his loved ones. What's more, there's an entire abundance of profits that Days of Our Lives would be insane to miss for this, from Carly returning and engaging Dimitri to Beau awakening and chasing down Megan. Infighting, double-crossing, getting a handle on for power. This could wind up an astonishing series of stories. Besides, I could see a couple of Dimeras making a play for Titan. Jake and Gabby plan to attempt it. So why not Stefan and Gabby? The two families have been getting along for quite some time. How about we shake things up? I would inquire as to whether there was something in the Salem water making these overabundance of engagement propositions. However, at that point, Rex proceeded to request that Sarah wed him, and they're in Chicago. So we should add one more proposition to the torrential slide of relationships / connections that would be better off quitting ahead of time of working. In any case, I keep on preferring Xander and Chloe. No doubt, he made a move too soon, and there's certainly basic explanations behind his proposition. However, she answered nicely and delicately when she gave him her no, and Xander answered in kind. That was somewhat undermined by his merriment in focusing on his proposition Brady's face, even in the wake of learning his cousin had recently lost Rachel. Yet Xander is still Xander. What's more, concerning Brady, I'm trusting this will drive him past the brink. He was so close with his arrangement to escape with Rachel, which fortunately he deserted on the grounds that it would have pushed him over off-screen, and presently close in any event. Taking into account union with Xander must get the job done. Din Brady is vastly more fun than Mopey Brady. I truly trust Chloe drags away on him for that non-consensual kiss, however, equivalent to she did with Xander. Since we're on the subject of mature connections, praise for Stephanie for telling Chad he was inappropriate to plot despite her good faith, yet that didn't mean she was tapping out. Tossing a beverage in front of him, however, might not have been the most ideal way to begin that. Furthermore, I'm additionally beginning to contemplate whether she isn't excessively sympathetic with how she's been allowing Alex many opportunities after possibility. Likewise, I so adored Kristen chuckling at EJ and Chad and letting them know they simpletons for this Stephanie plan. Some of the time it takes a lady's voice to thump down harmful manliness. I know somebody who used to work at Days of Our Lives who has a ton of familiarity with that. I don't have the foggiest idea how to manage Gwen. They're dumbing her down such a huge amount for this. I don't have the foggiest idea how she can stay close by after Leo and Dimitri's undertaking emerges. And keeping in mind that I realize sneaking around behind people's backs is a dependable daytime staple. There was something that struck me as so horrible about Dimitri bringing Leo along on the special night. Like simply require a couple of days break, come on. An upsetting additional opportunity. Jada was ablaze this week as she jumped all over Sean's advancement. Furthermore, she has a huge number of focuses that I'm happy she featured, yet it's a naturally fake problem. Doubtlessly, other SPD officials would be a preferred fit over both of them. However, they're the main two-person cops left, so it needed to descend between them. The other choice would have been to get an insider, as they're doing with the acting city chairman, to cause problems for everybody. What's more, on that note, is the new city hall leader bigot? I was thinking he would have been a jerk the town would need to revitalize against. It's subsequent to pursuing Channel and dismissing Jada. I'm seeing an alternate example. Handling prejudice is certainly a commendable point, yet it tends to be a precarious story to string with trustworthiness and care. Quite a while back, they were by all accounts going down that way when Gigi shot Theo, just to chicken out. It'll be fascinating to perceive how this works out. Stray contemplations. Asterisk, I don't get the disarray over the body and soul characters. I comprehend the reason why Whitley got reality and dream confounded, yet presently Abe, is the whole cast expected to be Salem doppelgangers? This sounds like an insane Rolf plot. Days of Our Lives spoilers and updates bother Stefan Demira's revelation will be Sloane Peterson's difficult situation. Stefan will figure out that Nicole Walker is conveying Eric Brady's child. Because of Sloane's duplicity, will Stefan tell E.J. Demira. Melinda Trask has become companions with Sloane, despite everything, except whether she's a reliable companion who'll maintain mysteries is impossible to say. During the 7-day stretch of August 14, Stefan will place Melinda in a difficult situation. He'll push her into a tight spot. Stefan could figure she's leaving well enough alone that would influence his sibling EJ, and despite the fact that they've known to be in conflict, most Demiras will uphold their own. Melinda realizes that Sloane adjusted the first paternity test, as well as the hereditary tests that came later. Stefan might be a recently hitched man, having quite recently hitched Gabby Hernandez, yet he could be a tease a little to get reality out of Melinda. Duo spoilers, family first. Other than Megan Demira, who all the Demiras disdain, generally they all have each other's back whenever hardship rears its ugly head. It's conceivable Stefan might figure out this disputable yet delicious mystery by inadvertently hearing a discussion, and he'll realize that EJ needs reality. Stefan knows how he would feel assuming he was the child's dad, and the fact of the matter was kept from him, and he'll feel EJ needs reality regardless of whether it harms. This is definitely not a mysterious that necessitates to remain secret, all things considered. Imagine a scenario where years from now Nicole's child is a young lady and Sloane's is a kid, and they became hopelessly enamored. Nobody needs to separate a couple since they're truly siblings. Days of Our Lives spoilers. Melinda Trask will inclination Stefan Demira to stay discreet. Assuming that Stefan sorts out the mystery and attempted to turn up the pressure on Melinda, she might well urge him to keep his lips zipped. All things considered, EJ is totally amped up for becoming a dad once more, and he'd be extremely disheartened and reasonable, exceptionally furious, perhaps even at Nicole herself. It's one thing to know intellectually that one's adversary could be the dad of one's life partner's child. Very one more to acknowledge it inwardly, all things considered. Regardless of whether consuming spiked rolls made Nicole and Eric's rashness and driven her pregnancy, there is as yet a significant issue. Reality needs to become obvious before a potential future siblings unintentionally experience passionate feelings for and perhaps wed. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.